My name's Jen George. I'm the Executive Director of Genry Capital. My background is primarily in the tech startup space, everything from marketplaces and communities, from employment marketplaces to marketplace tech, to advertising technology, to then community groups like Marketplace Meetup, as well as like-minded bitches drinking wine, and hello to all you bitches out there. And I guess now we're primarily focusing at Genry Cap in the logistics, manufacturing, and D2C brand space, as well as health tech and other opportunities like that, especially with everything going on. I'm not sure if everyone noticed, but we're in a pandemic. So that is exactly what I'm here to talk about today. Today is all about how to pivot a business during what we're experiencing right now, which is just something that we're all working out as we go. And I think there's a lot of positives, obviously massive negatives and having massive impacts worldwide. But from a business point of view, this is an amazing opportunity to really test things out, evolve and adapt your business, and really look for opportunities for growth. Now more than ever, I think you'll see pretty much every restaurant, for the last 20 years has slowly moved online, finally got that Facebook page, finally set up their website, finally, getting online ordering happening, whether it is through Deliveroo, Uber Eats, etc., or whether they're doing it themselves, just being more accessible online. Whereas now, I think, the Band-Aid was ripped. They couldn't keep selling unless they were able to do home deliveries and online services to keep doing transactions during this time. So I think it's been an interesting, pace that businesses had to move in to really, keep the doors open, keep people employed. Whether it's from that more traditional hospitality, bricks and mortar sort of space, to then your retailers as well in that space who have had to primarily go online because they couldn't have anyone come into the shops. To then you're seeing, consumer brands, how they even operate. Usually they'd be able to go into a studio, with 10 people there, get their product shop, maybe with models, maybe with not. When they're launching new brands or new lines or updating packaging. Whereas now there's amazing brands like Pick Studio, where you can literally mail your products in, they shoot them, they send them back, off you go. High res, great quality shots on demand. So then you're seeing businesses who, probably didn't exist at the same sort of scale, that's for sure. And I think we all know what it is, and it's toilet paper. There is a lot of toilet paper brands online now that you can kind of order and, get boxes and boxes, as apparently we all need, kind of sent to our houses as we need it, which again, probably wouldn't have gotten the scale of visibility or distribution that it needed during this weird and wild time. So I think really the true opportunity right now for businesses is they're going to get looked at probably now more than ever. So when they're approaching different brands for opportunities, they're actually having the time and I guess the opportunity to present to people that they probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to present to before, which is, I think it's a conversation that's happening definitely in the startup space and the tech space or even businesses that are just even starting now during the pandemic rather than, coming in and trying to survive during this time, that there's a really good opportunity to approach larger brands to get that scale and create really cool partnerships. I know businesses like Collabosaurus are a great opportunity for that. If you go check out Collabosaurus, it's a marketplace that basically matches you with larger brands to create collaborations, hence the name. But during this time, I think really great thing to look at for your own businesses is really how do you pivot during this time? No matter what stage you're at, it's about looking at what's working, what's not. And whatever you're, going to change, it's about setting clear metrics to really see as you test things out, is this working, is it not, and being able to adapt quickly. Because the longer you drag it out, something that's not working, obviously it's going to impact the financial, the bottom line at the end of the day, and, what's the likelihood of survival. So you're going to have to be as black and white as possible about it. So for me, I really look at three things. I test, we fail, but we learn from that, and then we keep testing. Keep testing until it works, something clicks. So we keep testing, we keep failing, we keep learning, adapt, test, fail, learn. But make sure it's really short, really concise, and really you're able to really set clear metrics around it so that we need to be able to sign up 10 customers to this new method of what we're doing, whether it's, moving online for a restaurant, doing home deliveries, doing what was great in Potts Point, Sydney, was they were doing cocktails delivered straight upstairs, right? So, or from any of the restaurants in the area. They were adapting the things that they would literally do. Hey, we're going to try this for a night. Let's just see how many people are going to do this. And if we add this to, an ongoing menu, what do we do? All right. What is the measure of success? If we get 10 customers actually order cocktails delivered to their homes tonight, we will keep this as a regular service. Okay, let's go. We've got 24 hours. We've got one night session to prove this. Let's test this out. If they didn't hit the 10, then they go, okay, what did we learn from this? What worked? What got people's attention? Clearly they want something, but maybe doing, single serve cocktails, 300 mils is a bit of an odd, serving size to be constantly going up to somebody's houses. Inevitably they'll like more. Maybe we need to adapt and do, 1 liter of margaritas or whatever cocktail you're having delivered to your house, and then test again, right? So I think for, this, again, I should probably move on from alcohol to something more wholesome, better to discuss, but it's an easy way then to keep the cost low to test something out, have a really clear framework, and then, actually adapt and learn from that. Once you see that something's working, you'll be able, if you hit that 10 and it's actually, you've successfully achieved that, then you can go, okay, how do we scale this? How do we try and grow this to 20? How do we try and grow this to 30 customers every night to keep growing your business? And you haven't thrown everything plus the kitchen sink at working out that may be the path to go, or maybe it's not. Because you don't want to overcommit down one path until you really know that that's actually where your business is going to scale. So depending on what business you're in, then if you're in, I guess, a more subscription-based tech business rather than, I guess, bricks and mortar traditional business, things that you can test are a lot more fluid. So A/B split testing things, only doing it to a segment of customers, and seeing, how do they react to this, really looking at the analytics, breaking it down to, at the end of the day, are credit cards converting? Because that's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter how many, people open that email. It's how many people open that email, click, sign up to that new service, put their credit card details in, and then you're looking at how many then stay on, repeat users, and all the fun stuff from there. But yeah, I think during this time, we've seen some really different businesses really pop out of here. We've really seen, the toilet paper businesses obviously grow, the logistics space, D2C brands. I think even with the Daily Skin Co., it's a men's skincare brand, started last year. Average cart sizes went from $60 to $200, in March very quickly. And it's, again, another brand, another product that you wouldn't have expected to boom during this time in COVID, which just goes to show that there's an opportunity for brands to adapt, get that growth, and really evolve their business during this time. We've seen brands like Australian Private Label, or APL. It's a 3PL business as well as contract manufacturing. So within the 6 weeks, it grew to an extra 50,000 packages or orders per year in such a short period of time is just insane. So really seeing that e-commerce side of things boom has been really interesting to see as well. So whatever you're thinking to test within your business, really think about what people are doing, their new behaviors. How has this changed with what's going on? More people are staying at home. More people are, having to buy or choosing to buy online because it's a lifestyle choice now. You either have to, or you're safer that way, or you're keeping your community safe, or you're actually stuck at home because you're in quarantine because unfortunately you have gotten sick. So it really depends on the circumstances. So if you can adapt your business and test things out of how you can, really capture this market and create a service that works within the current, pandemic circumstances, then, it's a good way to test things in a captured market. Then I think the next steps when you're testing things out is really making sure that no matter whether you're succeeding or failing at it, it's really looking at those learnings. I think really understanding, why things worked, but also why they didn't work. Do your customers not want to try things? Again, liter margaritas is the easiest example of, at-home cocktails. Maybe it's not the mass market of what, what's in your area, or maybe you need to try food. It's really adapting and testing things out small, but understanding what it was not working and why is that not working as well as what's working. It's really critical to understanding what the next decision is in your business, and can really save you a lot of time and a lot of money when things go wrong, when you kind of understand that. I think then also for when you are looking at other brands as well, for what they're testing, what they're learning, you can kind of see as brands kind of push things out in the market. You don't have to look just obviously in your own space. So whether you're a e-commerce brand selling towels, to whether you're selling hair loss serums, to bricks and mortar stores, you can kind of look at other industries and what they're testing, kind of what's working in their space, and really take inspiration to really get creative and to kind of see what works for your industry and your brand, because you never know what's going to click over. And I think that's the exciting thing about, the time that we're in, is that really anything can happen. Is that you have a lot of opportunity to try things out. We have captured audiences. I think the rates of people being online and the amount of time that people are spending online now is through the roof compared to what they were last year, because we're all, having to, be at home more from making sure that we're keeping our distance from everyone and doing the right thing. And, we have to assume that there's probably going to be, there seems to be second and third waves around the world. So you have to prepare your business really for anything. I think now is probably the right time to be thinking, how do you make sure that your business stays, as secure as possible? Making sure that you have multiple revenue streams, making sure you're testing things constantly, and don't just use this time because you've had to, because of, what's gone on, to just do it just this once. It's really about creating that routine in your business of going, okay, even if it's every 3 months, to be looking at, okay, every 3 months we're going to sit there and we're going to test something new. We're going to use it as a hack. They used to call them hackathon days, where they'd get everyone together and say, here's a challenge. We want to everyone come up with ideas on how to solve for this. We're going to test them out, and we're going to see how it reacts in the market. We used to do it at one shift. We used to put a budget aside of $5,000, and we'd literally go, okay, let's all pick a problem that we want to try and solve. Everyone can get involved. Doesn't matter who you are in the company. You get to test things out, real live customers in market with budget, and kind of see how we can evolve things, and make sure that there's, the business is constantly evolving, so that we're not, getting set in our ways. So if something like this does happen, it means that we're all prepared. We have multiple revenue streams, and that we aren't, in a situation where, it could be game over just because we've kind of been resting on our laurels. So if you can work out what works for your business, find a way to make sure that you are constantly looking at how are you adapting, how you're evolving, testing things out in market to reduce your risk. It's really important. And I think at the moment, with everything going on, it's a really positive opportunity. It's a really great time to be looking at what you can do for your business, looking to work with other businesses as well. Collaborations is a really exciting thing to look at, because more businesses are looking for great opportunities like that, rather than looking to necessarily spend advertising dollars on new projects or testing things out. So it could be a really great way to test, whether it's finding a business with a similar audience to you and testing out a new product or new service to their audience, and they can do the same to yours. So you can try and expand your business as well. So there's really lots of different opportunities out there. It's really just about sitting down at the end of the day, looking at, what's something really easy, clean and simple, break it down, write down the top 10 things you want to test out, then put them in order of what do you think's most likely going to work, and then make sure that they're very simple. So not, hey, I want to take over the world, but maybe think about, hey, I want to launch a new, we're going to launch brunch. This is a really bad example. Sorry. We're going to launch brunch at our restaurant. And so instead of just doing, lunch and dinner, and we're going to do it as a home delivery service. Okay. So we're going to launch it for one day. We'll do a week before of marketing, for that. And then we'll do one day where we'll offer that as a service. Okay. And what does success look like? It's 10 customers. Great. And if we don't, at what point do we pull the pin if we're not seeing that those 10 customers are coming on board, right? By 11 a.m. if we've got nothing. So you can see you've really got to set up that structure and really have a really clear understanding, and then schedule in those tests over time, and make sure after every test is done, you sit down as a team, you run through, why did this work? Why did this not work? And make sure you run through those learnings and really implement those learnings into your business, because you might not push ahead with that brunch, that test, on the day-to-day within your business, but you might take away a learning from that might impact, another part of your business. So really, if you take anything from my ramblings today, I really hope that you look at implementing a new structure within your businesses of testing, failing, or hopefully working, but learning no matter what from it, and then scaling what is working within your business during this time. and really using what's going on around the world. Obviously, it's a struggle. There's a lot of crazy things going on, but using it as an opportunity for your business to try and scale and, take hold of new opportunities that probably wouldn't have been there unless all this was going on. So I hope everyone stays safe, and I hope everything goes well for everyone. And obviously hit me up on LinkedIn if I can help anyone with anything. But love to stay in touch, and thank you so much for your time. Enjoy.